Three, two, one. Hello, guys. Welcome to episode 5, technically, of the Statics Radio podcast. I'm your current host, PJ.
And this is Alejandro, the co-host.
Yeah, a little dinging in a little second late. Sorry about the delay. There's been a awkward transition between him being here in person and then him not being here in person. So
Yep, it's very different when you don't have anyone to show hands or anything. You just kind of like assume.
Yeah, you hear if you hear blank space, just jump in. It's pretty much what we're gonna be doing. You're like, oh god, there's silence. What do I say?
Yep.
Then just jump in.
Exactly. Yeah, I thought you were about to do like the segue or something. I was like, oh no, there's no segue. So, well, yeah,
no.
That's me down here in the wilderness.
Yeah.
Back again. So,
well, I want to personally, and this is I guess personal, but I know it. You kind of sucked for you to see it too, but I'm going to dedicate this episode to Etika and his friends and loved ones.
Oh yeah.
Prayers go out to you guys and everybody affected by that. It's his death pretty much shaped the entire gaming universe pretty hard, and really advocated mental health. It really sucks that mental health gets the attention that it does after somebody has to die, you know. But man,
yeah, it is. It sucks because we were just talking about this last week, like wishing and hoping that there was some hope there, especially when someone saw the comment like after that weird video he posted.
Yeah,
it was like,
yeah,
because I remember when I broke that news to you, I was like, oh no, like that really shook me because after we started talking about Etika, immediately after the last episode, I went to try to find some of his videos because he didn't have his YouTube channel anymore.
Yeah,
like he nuked it, so I had to find people that
reposted.
So I saw the Subway video, I saw his Smash reactions. I know some people from the Nintendo community are devastated right now, like big time.
Yeah, I mean it's his suicide rippled across all of the internet. I mean, so large that I think 3 of the top 5 trending hashtags are regards to him, and then also like even channels like PewDiePie knew who he was, which is his largest channel. Etika was well loved, and the hate that he received that caused him to feel like he was trapped mentally. He didn't deserve any of that hate. So, honestly, I don't want to dwell on this for too long, but Etika was an incredibly genuine guy. He didn't care what people thought of him. He stuck to his laurels, and he made videos regardless of him getting demonetized or etc. because he wanted to make videos. And a lot of people look at him as a meme, and they saw him just as his reaction videos, but a lot of people don't understand that he was a genuinely caring and loving person who wanted only like the best for people, going out of his way to meet small YouTubers and stuff to tell them like how much they meant to the program, how he believed in everybody. He'd go out of his way to watch small videos. Like if somebody even like commented on his stream to watch one of their videos and he saw it, he's like, yeah, man, I'll go watch that. And he'll go watch like somebody's like jank ass tiny video from a small YouTuber just because he wants to support the people who supported him. He was active on Twitter all the time. When people felt lonely or upset or whatever and added him, he would always reply like, hey, you know, no bitches, you know, like you guys got this, like you guys are great. Like there's been a lot of videos has been coming out this last 24 hours of him at his best friend's wedding talking up his friends and stuff and telling them like how great they are and etc. And then people talking about him from 2012 back when he was he was playing something. He was helping out with some Sonic convention or whatever, and they were having a hard time keeping the crowd together. So he went on stage and just started doing like a bunch of like funny stuff to get people calmed down. Like the dude just genuinely wanted to make people laugh and have a good time, and it just really sucks that people kept calling him a clown, sending him clown emojis, like memeing him and telling him like that, oh, your mental health issues don't matter, that you're just seeking attention, etc., etc. Which ended up him feeling like he was alone and lost and. I mean, for people who don't know, he committed suicide. He jumped off the Manhattan Bridge They found his belongings last Wednesday, I believe it was, or yeah, they found his belongings last Wednesday on the Manhattan Bridge, and people were quite afraid that.
That's when he posted the video, right?
Yeah,
last Wednesday. Yeah. So, man, yeah, I still have no words because like the world took him away from us. Yeah, because of course the internet, instead of being a supportive place, always the shittiest persons have to be the ones that.
Have you mentioned your personal story of why you never were on YouTube?
Not really, but just to kind of like be brief about it. Just
no,
when
go ahead and mention it if you want to.
Yeah, just when this was back in 2006. I had some guy from my school post a video of me on YouTube trying to make fun of me, and in a very demeaning way of me trying to dance, and then like and that became viral, and that became like a huge tool for bullying for like a whole week for me. That really marked me, and it was a reason why I sworn off any YouTube content for like almost 9 years since then. Like when people would tell me about like all these YouTubers that came out early, or even the Machinima and all that, I was like, screw it. Like, I don't want to be participant in anything YouTube related, which is ironic because we're posting this on YouTube, but it really marks you. Like, it's like, how I say, like, sometimes you feel protected when you can abuse someone behind a keyboard, and saying that abuse, that is real. Because however, when me and my parents like faced the kid that posted that video back in 2006, however, he couldn't defend himself there. And that's what a lot of these people don't realize, is that they act all might and dandy, sending all this hate and abuse to people that don't deserve it.
It's
but
like,
then when they see that, but they wouldn't even dare say that to their face. Like, they wouldn't. And since that was something that
hey, just an aside real fast, your mic's making the noise again.
Oh, okay. So I'll stop moving much. But yeah, knowing kind of how that feels, and that happened to me when I was like 13. That's like, every time I hear that kind of thing, it always breaks my heart, because in a way I can relate, even though the amount of hate that apparently Etika was getting was like insurmountable compared to the one that I was done just to be made fun of. So.
Yeah, it's man, I really want to drop an F-bomb right now. It's very, very pitiful that the human race can be so self-absorbed and think that, oh, hey, I'm gonna just get some clout by like making fun of somebody. I mean, man, God dang it, man. Like, people who are famous, or people who are seen, and people who are like vloggers, whatever, YouTube famous, etc., have many subscribers and have a lot of support, like, they still get hate and they still have emotions. They have to get on camera and smile for you, but off camera they can be like crying themselves to sleep, man. They can be alone. And don't let Etika's example be the first of many. Or seriously, if you need help, and if you need mental health help, you're not alone. There's people around you. Reach out to them, ask for help. Let Etika's legacy not just be a legacy, let it be a learning experience for everybody. If you're posting something on the internet, imagine that you're seeing that person right in front of you and telling them that to their face, because the chances of them seeing that are quite high. And you got to realize, no matter how much love that you post and how much love that people post towards a YouTuber or towards a famous person, that hate stands out. They will read that hate, and it will personally affect them. And be there for them. And if you need any help, if you've ever been suicidal, if you're feeling depressed, alone, etc., reach out and get some help. I'm posting a video later on my personal channel about Etika, how much he meant personally to me, and in my YouTube career, and for me to get onto this platform, how much he's meant to me and meant to a lot of people. And on that video, I'm going to be posting down beneath a lot of links and etc. for mental health help and phone numbers to call if you need anything. I'm going to do the same thing for this podcast. If you need anything, please look in the description and go to the websites, call the numbers available, etc. In any country that you're in. Like, seek help. It's not a joke. Sometimes your own mental state sadly can be stronger than your actual conscience, and sometimes you may be thinking that, oh, I'm okay, but in the next moment you're not. It was on record that Etika literally was flat out told people like 2 days before his suicide that like when people asked him like, hey, are you like, were you joking about the suicide thing? It's like, yeah, I would never kill myself. Like, of course I wouldn't do that. Like people look up to me, etc. The fact that like that happened so quickly to him that he felt like the walls were closing in around him, that he needed to, quote unquote, repent for the things that he did. Like it's awful, the fact that we've drove him to that. And I literally pray that if any one of you listening to this have any sort of issues, that you understand that you are not strong enough to take care of it yourself. Get some help.
Get some help.
You are not the special occasion. You are not the 1%. There is like, you are not stronger than Etika was. You're not stronger than I or Alejandro or anybody else around you. You are just as weak as all of us. And if you are struggling with something, please seek help. We are not made as individuals to be alone in this world. We are made as like people, not as just individuals. We're made as individuals to work together and to be a groups of people and to support one another. Whenever you feel alone, please reach out. This world is so much better with you in it, if you believe it or not.
Yeah, don't be scared to reach out. You're not weak for reaching out.
Absolutely not.
Like, because that's always a fear. We don't ask for help because we don't want to look weak in front of others, but who cares? Like,
dude,
this is our life.
It takes a strong person to set pride aside.
Yeah. And I will be the first one to say that I've been there. Like, I've been too prideful to ask for help, but when it comes to this kind of stuff, like, at a certain point, we can't allow our own ego to come in the way of us even living.
Amen.
If that's what it takes. So.
Yeah, man, it's heartbreaking. And, you know, I already just got done looking and editing and talking about Etika for the last hour now, and I'm still doing it for another 30 minutes. And I wasn't able to sleep last night because I was watching all of his archived videos from other YouTubers who would re-upload his stuff, and just realizing how much he actually affected me in the last like 6 years, whatever, that I've known his content. It's like blows my mind that I've followed that guy for that long.
6 years, man.
Dude, I've been around since before the Subway video, man. Like
Subway was 2014, right? Or 2013? Yeah,
2014. I've been around since 2013, like late 2013. So not quite 6 years, but almost there. It's just like I remember waking up every morning around that time to look at what like video he was posting or whatever. And I remember for some reason, really odd, I think this one was 2015, or maybe it was late 2014. 2016? No, it's not 2016. It's 2015. God, I don't remember what year this one was.
Whenever that was.
Whenever it was, he posted a video about how the Jigglypuff amiibo was sold out on Target's website, and how its sale crashed the Target website for the first time ever in Target website history. And I remember watching that video and just like, I don't know why that one of all of them stuck out with me, because it wasn't specifically funny or rememberable. It's just like, I remembered it for some reason. And man, just like, God, yeah, he's changed so much, man, because he went from literally news to hype, like to pretty much just hype train and reactions to streamer, to vlogs and stuff like that. And then, God, man, he's gone. It blows my mind. It blows my mind that he's gone.
Yeah, it shows you like how quickly things can change at the drop of a hat. Like, it really makes us think. But I wish his mom the best. I kind of read a little bit of his story, how her mom raised him and his brother by herself, and his brother got killed in a gang something like that. And man, just to think that he had to grow in that kind of condition, and he still was able to, for the most part, be jovial and make such an impact. Like,
he was, yeah.
It spoke to his character, because imagine having to live through that, like
unapologetically himself. And that's something that I'm definitely going to take with me for the rest of my life. It really sucks that like some of the biggest lessons I've learned in my life required somebody to die, and it's freaking awful, man. Anyways, I don't want to stay sad boy hours for too long. Let's move on. One last comment. God bless you guys. I wish you guys the best. All prayers to everybody who knew him personally and his family. you guys are in our thoughts and in our prayers. I really hope the best from you, and I hope that something good, if it be his legacy that he left or people's memories of him, come your way and help comfort you. And I hope that you have people who surround you in this hard time. Anyways, moving on.
It's interesting. It's really weird how all these things were happening as I was watching Evangelion, because this is kind of what Evangelion's subtext is.
Yeah.
Isn't it weird?
Yeah.
Especially like, I just literally before recording this podcast, I just finished watching the main series.
Good job.
Well, yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah, finally I can say I saw a full anime, like from beginning to end. And even though it's all a blur because I did it in the last 2 days because I've been sick, it's a real interesting. I don't sure I loved it, but I'm glad I watched it because
that's how I felt when I watched it through all the way too.
It's the kind of thing that it's weird in a good way, in that I think I'm not gonna stop thinking about it. I can imagine everyone watching this back in the 90s and have it end that way.
Yeah.
In such a deep, introspective,
just what the
hell? Like, it's like I'm so shocked. That is like, I can't believe someone had the gall to end something like that.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't make any sense how it transitioned from where it was in the 24th episode to then this very abstract thing back to back.
Yeah, it was weird.
But it's just weird, very weird that all of that it kind of connected to me in a way, in a weird way. Yeah.
So an anime that you're going to be glad that you watched all the way through, and you're actually going to enjoy, is Cowboy Bebop, and I really hope that you watch that next, because that is phenomenal.
Just have to try to get back Hulu. So hopefully that happens soon. But because Cowboy Bebop and My Hero Academia are the two that I've always hear in very high regard.
Yeah, Cowboy Bebop's also really old, like Evangelion, whereas My Hero Academia is still running and is quite new. So you're gonna have like two very contrasting, like different kinds of anime, and I think that's kind of exciting. You're gonna have something that's like Evangelion, but not as like trippy, and then and actually like very like real and like just mature in its like tone, and then you're gonna go to My Hero Academia, which is just gonna be like a fun and like exciting superhero story. So
yeah, like I kind of mentioned to you, like there was a time that I was like watching all sorts of anime, not from beginning to end, but from what was being shown on Cartoon Network back when I was young.
Oh, Toonami?
Toonami, or just regular Cartoon Network here. Like I remember Sakura Card Captor, Sailor Moon, Zodiac Knights. Is that how it was called?
Yeah.
Or the Knights of the Zodiac, whatever the order is. In this anime about like some robots that had like a medallion at the back of them. I've tried it. Metabots, I think is what it was called.
I don't remember. So personally, I'm not crazy into mech anime. There's only 2 mech animes that I actually kind of watched all the way through, and that was Code Geass and Evangelion. I was never really crazy about like Gundam or anything like that. Crucify me for it. I don't.
Yeah, and people highly talk about Gundam, and I haven't even seen a single episode. Though I did play a PS3 game that was horrendous.
Yeah, Gundam's a weird series to me because they have like, God, I don't know, like 20 freaking series, and not any of them really connect or something like that. I don't know. I'm not a pro about Gundam. I don't watch it. I can't tell you what Gundam's like. All I know is that there's a lot of series that don't connect to one another. So it's just kind of like, oh, great. I don't know what I'm watching.
Yeah. What I did like about Evangelion is that even though it was a mecha series, like from the kind of like from what you can see from it, it's not really about that. And that's the kind of thing that I really liked about that.
God, the mechs are creepy in that, man.
Oh yeah.
They creep me out from the beginning to end. I know
just the face, their form.
Well, that too, but like all the way back in episode 1, dude, or whatever. Like whenever the face cracks and the eyeball looks at him, and it's like, oh god, it's like, what? Like that's not a mech.
I'll just say this: I could kind of see the series being rated this way, but because I started watching End of Evangelion before I started watching the series.
Yeah.
Because I was doing my research when the Netflix thing hits. I was like, I want to see what people say because this is gonna be a huge leap for me. And everyone was like, yeah, the beginning of the movie that was supposed to be the end is very controversial. I was like, I need to see this for myself. I'm not gonna be explicit about it, but I cannot believe that Netflix rated this thing TV-14.
Yeah,
I cannot.
That's insane.
Especially
oh wait, yeah, no, they showed full on boob. So yeah,
exactly. So yeah, they showed the thing and Shinji doing that thing, and I'm like,
well, granted, they don't show him doing it; they just show the aftermath.
But even then, just seeing the hand, I'm like, what? Just what? I'm like, because I remember you
some people are just destined to always be alone with their left hand. So I mean,
yeah. To be fair, it was his right hand, which was weirder.
Never mind.
Yeah.
Sorry, Shinji.
Yeah, but to me, it's just like it just tells me Netflix's weird standards to what they rate or they don't, or if they are just like they just saw the normal series, which is not that bad, because especially like it's very subjective. Shinji falls in the trips and falls in the body of a naked woman. So whenever that episode was, I was like, what the heck?
4? 5.
Yeah.
5,
it was like
5.
early on. I was like, he trips. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
But
that's a very common old anime trope.
Exactly.
That's been around for a long time. That's just something that Japan has in their culture. Thankfully, it's not as common in a lot of mainstream animes nowadays, but you still find some stuff that comes out that has that in it.
Yeah, it's still weird. I think Evangelion, how it starts, it makes it seem like it's mainstream. Yeah. Especially because I saw I remember that picture I showed you of the DVDs that all have a PG, and then the very last one's MA-15. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
It's so weird. To me, that's so strange that within one season, it raised its
rating that high.
It's rating that high. I was like, huh. And I think I'm gonna watch that movie. I might as well. I need to see it for myself.
Granted, it's a good movie. I just don't like. Yeah, the beginning is a little weird. But yeah, it's pretty much what the ending was supposed to be for the series. And so whenever things move forward with the Evangelion series, the movie is actually canon, whereas the end of the series isn't.
Oh, yeah. It makes more sense because before we started recording this podcast, I started watching after the dirty scene at the beginning, and I'm like, okay, this makes more sense to where episode 24 ended.
Yeah.
Because that was a weird thing, that the way how episode 24 ends and it goes that
weird.
Yeah, that's when it started. I was like, wait a second, is this an interrogation thing? And they're flashing the questions and answer, flash questions, answer, and then the 26th episode has the storyboard animation.
Yeah.
That's why I was asking you, is it true that the guy ran out of money?
I don't know. I don't know if he did.
Yeah, because from what I was reading, that's the reason why End of Evangelion was done. It's oh, he got money again, so now he can finish it. But now he's gonna go all crazy.
God. Yeah, that's weird. They have 3 movies, don't they? They have
11.1.11, 2.22, 3.33. I don't even know. I was like, this is too much for me. I'm just gonna watch what's on Netflix.
The 4th movie is coming out.
And what are they? Are they continuations or?
I don't know, man. Be blunt with you. I actually haven't watched all the way through Evangelion myself either. I've seen all the highlights and I've seen every episode, but I don't think I've seen them in order. So this is also my first time sitting down and watching through it entirely, so I can kind of piece together the timeline. So the movies will also be after this. Whereas I just got done watching Cowboy Bebop again for my 15th time.
And it's only 3 seasons, right? From what you told me.
Which one?
Cowboy Bebop.
Oh, it's 1.
Oh, okay.
It's the same amount of episodes as Evangelion.
Yeah, sweet. That makes it even better because this was nicely digestible.
Yeah, it's the same length as Evangelion, and then it has a phenomenal movie. Oh my god, the Cowboy Bebop movie is perfect. And then there's it's My Hero Academia that has 3 seasons. Season 4 comes out later this year.
All right, I'll keep that in mind. Where are they showing My Hero Academia? Is it Hulu also?
Yeah, I think they also have it on Hulu. I just kind of stream it online. I know I'm a terrible human being. Sometimes I go to
We gotta do what we gotta do sometimes.
Yeah. I've been to Crunchyroll. I'll watch it on Crunchyroll. I'll watch it on Kiss Anime. I know the anime companies don't get supported on that, so I try not to watch it on that. Hulu, Netflix, I don't know which one of the two. I think it's on Amazon as well. I am not certain, man. I just know I'm caught up.
I also need to catch up on Attack on Titan because I only saw the first season.
Oh God, man!
People told me the third season is like mind-blowingly bonkers.
Yeah, so very sad comment here that just came up in my mind. Etika's last tweet that he gave that wasn't a reply was about how he finished season 3 of Attack on Titan. How it blew his mind.
Dang, I didn't even know that. This wasn't even.
Yeah, that was his last tweet. Attack on Titan's nuts, man. Season 3 was insane. I had a pretty big tearjerker moment where I was crying in season 3, man. It was real.
Nice. Yeah, I think since I'm already in the anime kick, I might as well try to see how I can catch up on that because one of my friends from down here, he was the one that when I was telling him about Evangelion, he was like, have you seen Attack on Titan? I was like, only the first season. I was like, dude, what are you doing? Why are you haven't watched the third season? I was like, wait, there is a third season already?
Yeah, there's season 2, season 3. Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember season 2 came out while I was still in college. So I was like, okay, I'll wait it because, like I told you, I watched it with my head RA in his room when we were like just chilling. So he was like, we both of like one of our mutual friends tried to get us into anime. And I was like, I've been to anime before. He was like, watch Attack on Titan. So we watched it. So like,
yeah, Attack on Titan's, man, it's pretty dark too.
I know.
Attack on Titan season 1 came out and it was really big, and then it was like dead ass silent for years. Like My Boy season 2 didn't come out for like what, 4 years or something like that, 3 or 4 years. It was dead. It was dead in the water. No one cared about it anymore. And then once they announced season 2 was coming out, like everyone who liked season 1 didn't even know that season 2 was out. And don't get me started on season 3. Less people knew season 3 came out. So.
Exactly. No, that's what I'm telling you. Like when our friend tried to get us into Attack on Titan, it was because we were in the middle of that break. So and the movies were coming out, or at least the first movie, which I never saw. People told me it was horrendous. Can you confirm?
Which movie?
The first Attack, because I think they divided it in 2 parts.
Well, you're telling me about movies. There's a live action movie and then there's a cartoon movie. Which one are you mentioning?
The live action movie.
The live action one is atrocious.
Yeah.
That was the one that people were mentioning a lot. That was the first like live action Netflix adaptation movie of like all these anime stuff that they've done. See, the anime movie I thought was pretty decent. That was good. It was an actual canon anime movie. Yeah, sometimes they're all right. Yeah,
now,
but
question.
What's up?
Is there anywhere where I can watch Dragon Ball?
Which one? Which Dragon Ball?
From the original all the way to Z.
Oof, that's gonna be a long ass fucking journey. Oh, oops.
Yes.
Womp womp. Uh-oh, sorry. Yeah, that's gonna be a long journey.
Like just to refresh, the last thing I remember of ever watching Dragon Ball was, spoiler alert, Goku died fighting the green guy, that whatever that green guy was, and then like you see Goku running in like a bridge in heaven while Gohan's trying to survive.
Okay, so there's 153 episodes in the original Dragon Ball, and then there are 291 episodes of Dragon Ball Z.
I'm out. I'm out. Yeah. No thanks.
I mean,
I'll just play Kakarot when it comes out, which is supposed to be the main series.
No, it's just the first arc. I recommend you watch Dragon Ball Z. You don't have to watch all of Dragon Ball, the original one. Crucify me for saying it. I like the original Dragon Ball, and if you like Dragon Ball Z, I think it's better to go back and watch Dragon Ball. The original Dragon Ball is a lot slower and it's more comedy focused, whereas Dragon Ball Z is great. Now, if you really want to watch the show, there is a great way to watch it, and it's Dragon Ball Z Kai. They lowered all episodes from 291 to 159 episodes. What they did is they cut out all of the excess of the series. So they cut out all the fillers. they cut out the fillers. They redid some scenes, like they redrew some scenes in HD and all that. In my opinion, is the best way to watch that series. I know a lot of people are going to be like, well, how dare you, PJ? Dragon Ball Z has some of the best fillers. Granted, it does. There's an episode where Piccolo and Goku are learning how to drive.
That's what I remember. I think it was like Gohan just walking from like point A to point B with like a cat, while like Goku's just running into heaven. That's the kind of episode I remember from Dragon Ball Z, whatever that is.
Yeah, the snakes. One of the mini Snakes Way episodes. Yeah, that lasted a while. Yeah, I'm telling you, watch Dragon Ball Z Kai. Dragon Ball Z Kai. That's the best way to watch through it. I recommend watching that. It's a really good series. Dragon Ball Z is pretty much immortal. Everyone will always be talking about Dragon Ball Z until the end of the universe, pretty much.
Yeah, especially with Broly this year being so big.
Yeah, Dragon Ball is the it's just the anime. It's the one that everyone will always know and talk about. It's bigger than Naruto. It's bigger than One Piece anime wise, at least especially here in the West. It's bigger than One Piece. It's pretty much like. It's like the Mario. It's like Mario and Sonic and all these like characters that everyone knows. Everyone knows Goku. Like you can't get away from it. Even if you don't watch anime, you know what Dragon Ball is.
Yeah.
And ironically, while we're mentioning it, I'm wearing a Dragon Ball Z shirt right now.
And so just for people to know, there is no video chat here, so nothing was referenced. Or me making a reference to Dragon Ball just because of what he was wearing. So.
Yeah, I am wearing a Dragon Ball Z shirt, and if you watch my Etika video, you can see that I'm still wearing the same shirt.
Anyway.
Yeah. Goku's great, man. I love Dragon Ball Z. I think there's some awesome character development in there. I think everyone's extremely pissed that Gohan gets thrown to the side, though. He gets his moments to shine in Super, though, and I think that's kind of cool, but he's nowhere near as good as what people are hoping. That's a different rant for a different time.
But yeah, just in short, I'm into anime right now, so let's see how much that was a worthy stepping out of my comfort zone, because the last thing I ever saw of anime was the ending of Death Note without ever seeing the entire series.
Really?
So
can't do that, man.
Yeah. But what happened was, because I was in a group project, this was back in like 2010, 2011, and it was on Netflix somehow. The one over here, and a friend was like, have you ever seen Death Note? I was like, I've heard about it. It's on Netflix. I'm not on the last episode. I'm like, okay. I mean, I'm not gonna understand, but we're gonna put it in that. Even me not knowing about the series, that finale was intriguing, to say the least. Very
Death Note is a very emo-tastic show, but oh my god, it's great. I watched through the entire show. Don't get me wrong, there's like a good 5 or 6 episodes where I'm just like, God, I wish this never existed, because or like these episodes never existed, because it pulls something kind of stupid halfway in the series, or later, like 3/4 into the series, that kind of like gets rid of one of the best characters, and then they try to replace him with somebody who's a lot less nice. So God, I hate to spoil the shit, but I mean, it's been out for so long that if you don't know the story, it's your fault. So
exactly.
I'm just gonna go with it. If you don't want to hear Death Note spoilers, just leave and come back like in a minute. But anyways, L is pretty much the antagonist / hero. It's kind of a weird series because the main character is the villain. Because you watch Light. You watch Light is his name, Light Yagami, become like this semi-god who's like killing off whoever he wants to like. Yeah. Anyways, so he takes up the mantle of Kira or Kila. I don't remember which one. I think it was Kira. And it's been a while. Anyways, one of the two. It's something that is very similar to the word kill. Anyways, he forms his own cult. People like him. So the world's greatest detective, L, comes out of hiding and tries to get figure out who Kira or Killa is. Again, I'm just gonna look up.
Yeah, just look it up. If it's gonna be like stumping you that you're getting around, just look it up.
Kira. Yep, Kira. Kira. I was right the first time. Anyways, so Kira is his mantle. Anyway, so L comes out of hiding to figure out who Kira is, trying to, snuff out Light Yagami. Well, Light Yagami's father is actually on the investigation. Long story short, he gets in connection with L, and L doesn't realize that the person he's looking for is right under his nose the whole time until closer to the last few episodes, where L has his suspicions that it's Light. But Light figures out a way to get out of suspicion. And so what L does is L keeps him close to him the entire time so he can't get away. And Light finds the moment finally to kill L, and kills L and finally wins. Now, L comes from this, an orphanage, and L also has a orphan brother or younger brother or whatever named Q, which was never referenced ever in the series and comes out of nowhere. And it's like, I'm gonna revenge L. I'm gonna avenge L and figure out who Kira is and kill him. And so he hunts down Light and pretty much kills Light. So he's the one who actually ends up killing the main character, is this guy we've never seen in the entire series. So of course people are mad about that, because L, literally one of the greatest detectives of all time and an amazing character, gets killed off, and their way of avenging him is by having a nobody kill L, or kill Light Yagami. So that's really shitty.
And that happened halfway through the series.
That happened 3/4 into the series.
Okay.
Pretty close to the end. I think Q was only around for 6 to 10 episodes or something like that.
Makes sense.
But still very sad.
So, question: did you ever see the live-action Netflix movie?
Not good. Don't like it. Some people liked it. I don't like it. There's a sequel coming.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah, they're trying to continue the series, which is weird.
So, was it an adaptation, or was it a sequel to the anime?
It was an adaptation, but the new the sequel is supposed to be a continuation, but it's non-canon. So it's not made by the writer or creator, so who knows what the heck it's going to be. But yeah, man, this has been pretty interesting. This is the first time I've actually been able to talk anime with you and kind of sort of be on the same level, sort of.
Exactly, sort of.
Yeah.
Because I don't consider myself a huge anime fan right now, but at the very least I finished Evangelion, and soon the end of Evangelion, and hopefully a couple hours. Please finish Cowboy Bebop.
I know you're going to love it. If you were glad that you watched Evangelion, you're going to love Cowboy Bebop. That show, see, unlike Evangelion, that takes a really weird turn, Cowboy Bebop emphasizes the ending ever since the beginning of the series, and it's never lost what it was, and it beautifully told the story from start to finish, and dear God, will it make you cry in the last 5 episodes.
All right.
You are going to be like, oh my God, that's sad. Have you ever watched something and had a giant show hole in your heart after watching it? That's going to be Cowboy Bebop for you.
Yeah.
I'm calling it.
That to me was Chuck.
Yeah.
When it ended. After that, I was like, man, because even till this day, I don't think there's a show like Chuck.
Yeah, that was me with Dexter before last season.
Yep. before the lumberjack ending.
Oh. I mean,
how he survived the hurricane and then ended up as a lumberjack, no one knows. God, no one cares.
So stupid.
Yeah.
Deborah deserved way better than what she got, man. That was awful. Anyways, yeah, Cowboy Bebop is going to be one of those series for you. You're going to get a giant show hole. I'm calling it, man. It's you're going to be hit by so much nostalgia, you'll have no idea, dude. They pull out VHSs and stuff like that all throughout the series, and you're like, oh man, there's some technology I haven't seen in a hot minute. It's you're gonna be like, man, I remember this, I remember that. Oh my God, it's
I remember rewatching my Toy Story 2 VHS 100 times in the same day when I was young. Yeah, I had VHS. I love that Toy Story 2 VHS.
Yeah, man, I still own Bugs Life on VHS.
Man. I have Monsters Inc., Nemo, and Toy Story 2 on VHS still here in my closet, and I'm like, man, what memories! Even though I have the Blu-ray for a Toy Story.
Yeah, I don't know where my other VHSs are. I think they're at home with my family, but I know I have Bugs Life, which was
Quick question.
Pixar.
And now that since we like dove into Pixar, were you able to see Toy Story 4?
No, I'm not gonna see it.
Yeah, I went to see it. The reviews on the site. Considering I naysayed it as much as anyone could possibly naysay something, it was fun.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Yeah, it's definitely fun. Like, I laughed a lot, and ironically, because we were talking about, it's weird that sequels to toy things were coming out at the same time.
Oh, 3 movies have sequels.
Yeah.
3 movies that are based around toys have sequels, or I guess a reboot in one of those cases,
And they
in the same week. Same week. Yeah,
and
we have
2 of them were horror, right?
Yeah, Chucky, Annabelle Returns Home, and Toy Story 4.
Yeah, and that's what's so funny because Toy Story 4 has horror elements. Which
I saw that. It has the creepy ass dolls from Goosebumps.
that to me was like, because the first Toy Story had creepy elements, so all these people were like, no one told me Toy Story could do horror. I'm like, did you ever watch the first one? You were young. We're like, what, Sid's toys? Yeah, with Sid's toys.
I will say I loved their humor in the first one though, because did you ever see the post or like any of the articles about how all of Sid's toys are like puns?
I think I remember reading that.
So like the hook with legs is a hooker. And stuff like that. Like there's a bunch of like puns of like names for things combined together to make his toys. It's really fun.
Yeah. But just to put a pin on Toy Story 4, so yeah, if people haven't seen it, if you want to see something funny, I say it's not bad. If you were expecting something on the caliber of even Toy Story 3, don't even bother. Like, it's definitely the worst Toy Story, relatively speaking. Like, it's still a great movie, but man, I cried with Toy Story 3. I mentioned it last time, so this one, and this one was promoted that it was gonna make you cry, and only one scene at the very end made me close. But I'm like, I already spent my tears on the previous one. No need.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very like I told you in the mall when we were in the mall when you were here, is like the Finding Dory moment. It's just like it didn't need to exist, but I guess I'm okay with it existing. I'm just not gonna like go and see it really.
Exactly. I still even haven't seen Incredibles 2.
Yeah, you know, I like Incredibles 2 a lot, but it's no Incredibles 1. I don't think it was phenomenal.
Yeah, and I think that's where all these late sequels from Pixar kind of like fall into problem, because I think other than Toy Story 3, which to me like really
new, that's like riveting. All their new stuff is like weird, and it's not like as intuitive as the old stuff was.
Yeah, Inside Out is probably the only one that really hit me. That was like something new that they made. But then Brave, the Cars movies never did it for me. Coco,
Cars 1 was cool. Cars 2 is good. I like Cars 2.
Yeah, and what's funny is that Cars 2 is the one people hate, which I don't understand, because I remember having a lot of fun watching Cars 2 at the theater. But yeah, it's Toy Story 4, 2 thumbs up, 85%. So
go read a review. SetXmedia.com. Go check it out. Yeah, show it some love. Alejandro went and saw it. He had to spend his money to go see that movie. So let me know how that is. I've actually been seeing reviews for Chucky come out recently, and as a kid, I was deathly afraid of Chucky. Like, that was above Freddy Krueger, above Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Chucky was a thing that I never wanted to even recognize existed. So I was definitely afraid of it. But the reviews for it are coming out, and it's pretty good. Now I'm like, frick, I want to see this movie.
Isn't this Chucky the one that Mark Hamilton? Isn't he like the new voice of Chucky?
I think Mark Hamill was the voice of Chucky back in the day, wasn't he?
Yeah. No, I think because they made a big deal of him being in Child's Play, so that's why I assumed that was his first role in it, because Mark Hamill's a beast with his voice.
Let me see. Play star Mark Hamill wants you to sing along with Chucky in a new video. Oh God, yeah, he plays as Chucky. But like the things that I've seen about this this Child's Play movie was that like it's goofy apparently, and I think that's what people liked about it, is that like whereas like the original one like was very focused. It was really demonic, So like what the original Chucky movie was about was like the doll was possessed by some like serial killer spirit or whatever. This one, the reason why he became evil was literally because in the factory some dude accidentally turned the switch from good to evil. So when they created the doll. So there's no evil spirit that possesses him. It's just naturally evil.
That's awesome.
And it doesn't know, like, apparently I need to see it. Apparently I need to see it. But he doesn't know he's like doing something wrong. He just genuinely wants to have fun. And so his way of having fun was like, oh, I'm gonna kill people like in front of my kid or whatever.
All right.
And I was just I think there was a reason they said that made him do that, where he thought it was fun, but I don't remember what it was. And the only other thing I saw, emphasis on Moist Critical, the guy, or just Critical or Penguin Zero, who made the Moist meter thing for this. I'm going to use a quote from him, and which I would agree on if I saw it and noticed this. Said from the beginning, Chucky just has a knife and he kind of like animatronically like waddles towards you very slowly. So he's like, like a normal doll. So he's like scary or whatever. But like, and at the end, apparently he just learned like how to dead ass sprint or something, because like he just starts moving like a speeding bullet by the end. And so at some point in the movie, he goes from like a slow walking zombie to like a hellhound on 4 legs, like just dead sprinting you through walls and shit. Like I was like, okay, see, that's kind of like far-fetched, but like he knocked it. See, in his review for it, he gave it a 70. He knocked it down pretty hard for a few things. But the 70 doesn't sound great, but he gave nothing but high respect. He's like, yeah, go see this movie. It was pretty good.
That's the thing. Like, I'm in the believer of the swimming in sevens is actually good. Like, sevens are good. Some of my favorite games are sevens.
Yeah.
So like Force Unleashed.
Yeah, and I like Sonic games. So.
Yeah, and the best games have been swimming in sevens. So. Well, with the exception of Generations, which is swimming in 8s and 9s, and Sonic
and Mania, yeah.
And Mania, which was actually swimming in 9s and 10s.
Yeah.
That some people may want to joke and say, "There's never been a good Sonic game." Sonic Mania is good.
Yeah, screw you guys. When will you learn that your actions have consequences?
Yep. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention this with Toy Story 4. Freaking Keanu Reeves is also in that movie.
Yeah.
So it's like, of course, like Keanu having the 2019 of a lifetime.
Oh man, speaking of Keanu Reeves, last thing I want to mention before we move on, did you see the big news for something that was approved and is like, a lot of people are like, it's in talks, but there's been a lot of like proof that it exists. Matrix 4, baby.
With the Wachowski brothers.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I can't wait to see how they revive Neo. Spoiler alert.
Well, it's Keanu Reeves apparently isn't in it, or at least we don't know if he's actually going to be in it or not. The main character is not Neo.
Yeah, it was Morpheus, if I remember correctly.
4? No, I think 4 was somebody brand new. It was
that could work if they do like an all new cast after what happened with Zion.
Yeah.
At the end of Revolutions. So.
My guess is that you're going to see something Neo related so kind of what Morpheus was, you're going to see Neo being now, even though like spoilers for 3, it's going to be a little hard to write in, but I think we're going to see something like that where Neo's now the like torch passer or something like that.
By the way, can you believe it's been 16 years since Matrix Revolutions?
16?
Yep.
Can you believe it? It's been 40 years since Alien.
Holy crap. Yeah, whoop. Yep. So
got you beat.
Really makes it But even then, like, I remember Matrix, watching that in the theater, and man, it doesn't feel that long ago, but it really is.
Yeah, I remember watching Matrix with my dad. I also remember watching some of the latter Jurassic Park movies in theaters.
Oh yeah. I remember 3 was the one I saw in theater, and Matrix. It was funny because we have a different rating system here in El Salvador than in the U.S. because the Matrix is always rated R.
Yeah.
But here it was for like older than 12-year-olds. So I went to see Matrix Reloaded with my dad. And okay, so this would have been 2003, so I was 9 probably, and they let me in. And you remember the dancing scene? Yep. So,
you were like, Dad, I think I like women now.
Man, hey, that's oh no. I was gonna say that's a Simpsons movie reference.
Yeah.
Yeah, but remember that when Bart is like,
Yeah.
and the guy's like, I think I like boys.
Yeah. I think I like boys now. Yeah. Whenever. Oh yeah, when Bart was riding by.
Yeah.
Oh god, yeah, that was so.
What I love.
God, dude, I remember watching Simpsons movie in theaters, and I remember that moment so specifically and how everyone reacted in theaters,
I know.
where you didn't show his penis the whole time, then at the end it was nothing but his penis.
Yep.
And
No,
no
it
one
was like
expected that. No one
passing
expected
everything.
that.
Yeah, everything. It was like passing everything. Like everything was covering, and then like everything covers the top, and it was like, just at the bottom. And then when he like smashes in the window with Flanders, God bless this beloved penis.
Penis? Yeah. Well,
But
no, I meant like whenever he like is going through the bush at the end of that, and the
And then
bush,
shows.
it literally just his penis is what shows. Yeah.
I know. No, but I think because my dad has mentioned this like a couple of times as one of his like preachings. That scene where the big dome is coming, and then you see like the overhead shot of like the bar in the church.
Yeah.
And everyone goes in, and they switch places.
Yeah. God, I love it. Yeah, I thought that was funny. All the bar people go to the church, and all the church
Yeah.
people go to the bar. That was really funny.
Yeah, like I don't watch The Simpsons, but that movie was hilarious.
God, dude,
Like,
I watched The Simpsons with my dad growing up, and whenever they announced the movie was coming out, I was so stoked. I will say I'm still hoping for Simpsons movie 2. They announced it a long time ago, and it never happened. It was,
I'm like, because The Simpsons movie was 2007.
Yeah.
Why have they waited this long? The show is still on. It's going to season 30.
Yep.
I haven't watched a single episode for a long time. It's gonna be in Disney Plus apparently in November, but
Heck yeah, man, dude.
Okay.
Simpsons is so funny. I think Simpsons fell off for a good like 6 to 7, maybe even 10 seasons, but dude, it's back. It's so funny now. Dude, they've done a great job the last couple seasons.
yeah, that's what people tell me. Like because the rut was like for a long time, like
Yeah.
2000s to 2010s was where like the worst period, and the movie was kind of like the big beacon of hope in that whole period.
Yeah. Well, I meant like I think they started getting good around like 2014, 2015 again. Like
Yeah.
really good. So the original original writers came back, and they just like it's kind of like SpongeBob. The original writers for SpongeBob came back, and SpongeBob's like now great again.
Yeah.
Anyway,
and SpongeBob is still running, right?
I'm not so sure. I don't know. I don't watch SpongeBob as much as I used to. I watched it 2 years ago, and it was really good. I didn't know if there's any
I only remember the classic episodes like that.
We gotta wrap this up, man.
Yeah.
We're coming up to the end of our time that we have allotted. So let's wrap this up. Is there anything you want to talk about before we end, or anything you want to promote? Not talk about, but promote before we end.
Anything I want to promote? You can always check our website. It updates with some articles every other day. We have one about Avengers, about something regarding Titanfall and Apex Legends, and the Toy Story review if anyone wants to read it. Plus, Mario Maker 2 is coming this Friday. That's a weird. Yeah, it's like apparently it's reviewing super well. It's the kind of game that's like so complex. I don't know if we could ever get a timely review other than like some good impressions. But I think we talked about trying to make some content around it. Like,
I'm gonna play through the story, and I'll play it online, and I'll check out all the online stuff in like 3 days and get a review out for you.
I'll be playing it also, so I'm super stoked for that game because
I'm stoked.
That's been like my most anticipated early game of 2019 for a while. So.
That one and Fire Emblem I'm excited for. Anyways, this has been episode 5 of Statics Radio. As I said earlier in this podcast, if you are dealing with any sort of mental health issues, look in the link or look at the description down below. There is a lot of resources for you to use. And seriously reach out to somebody if you're dealing with anything at all, and I mean anything at all. I don't care if your culture says that you're a big man and you can't cry. I don't care if people tell you that you're alone. I do not care what your culture and what people around you say. Seek help. You need it. Like, you cannot do this alone, and we're all in this together. It's not easy to get through life, but thankfully, since we have the internet, we can use each other. Yes, there's a lot of hate that spreads, but try to realize that there's a lot of people here that love you, and that this world is not going to be the same without you here, and that the world needs you. Like, you're an awesome person, and you have a lot of potential. Check the description down below if you need any help. If not, And if you're having a great day, I hope you continue to have one. And as Etika used to say, which really fucking hurts to say this, but I want to anyways because I loved his outro. Have yourself a damn good one.
Yeah,
And
love it.
my name's PJ.
I'm Alejandro, and it was a pleasure to serve you.
All right, we will catch you guys this time next week. We are going off air right now. See you guys.